What's up everyone, it's Marco here from PhoneDog.com, and earlier this morning LG announced the LG G6, and I also released my LG G6 first impressions, and I wanted to make a quick little short video here just to kind of show the differences between the LG G6 and the G5, and thankfully, I have him right over here. This guy right here is the LG G6, and this, if you could recall, is last year's LG G5, and this video is all you need to know about the big main differences between the G6 and the G5. So obviously, if you take a look at both of these externally, they look a lot different. The G5 is built primarily out of aluminum and glass with an entire aluminum back, and it's also modular, which means you can actually get friends with these things, add camera modules, add different type of modules for the LG G5. And if you take a look at the G6, it looks a lot different, almost S8-like. It's basically built all of Gorilla Glass and aluminum, glass on both the front and the back. It's a completely enclosed design now, so no more removable battery, and it's definitely larger but the same footprint as the LG G5. So let me give you a quick rundown of the spec differences. Obviously the G5 has a little older chip. It's the Snapdragon 820, it's 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a 5.3-inch display, while the LG G6 has a 5.7-inch display, a Snapdragon 821 processor, and 4 gigabytes of RAM. 820, 821, not a huge difference in performance. The 821 is definitely the more stable and more power efficient chip, but it's not quite up to par with the latest Snapdragon processor, which is the Snapdragon 835, which will be featured on the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Edge. Now, one massive pro that the G6 has over the G5 is IP68 rating, which basically means this thing can go into 1.5 meters of water for half an hour with no problem. Now, another cool feature about the G6 is it has a completely flat front, which basically you'd ask yourself, how's that unique? Well, if you take a look at the iPhone 7 Plus, and the S7 and S7 Edge especially, the display is actually curved, and if you drop that phone face first, it's usually the first point of contact, while the G6 has a slight little lip right around the bezel basically. So hopefully when this phone does fall, if it does fall onto the front anyway, that should absorb most of the impact and not your display. Hence, you probably won't shatter your display quite as readily as you would an iPhone or S7 Edge. Thankfully, the ports on the G6 and G5 are the same USB Type-C, so you have the same charger if you have one of those already. And then you also do preserve the same cameras, though this one is a 16 megapixel camera on the G5, while the G6 has a 13 megapixel camera. They still both do 4K video, they still have that dual camera feature, and in the software department, the G6 definitely has the latest version of Android. It runs 7.0, not 7.1 for some reason, but it does have 7.0 with LG's UX 6.0. So those are the main differences between the G6 and the G5. If you want me to do a more in-depth video about these two, make sure to leave me a comment below and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to know a lot more about the G6, make sure to check out my first impressions video. It's a lot more in-depth and looks a whole lot better than this video, and I talk a lot about the LG G6 and its capabilities. Hope you guys enjoyed this short little comparison. Leave me a comment below, hit that thumbs up button as well, and as always, my name is Marco Hanna. Stay tuned for more G6 content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.